Hello everyone, Sports Snippets, Dennis Sullivan. We're here. It is the 8th of December, Sunday. Dolphins fall, kind of a heartbreaker, 22-21 to the New York Jets. Please don't forget to like and subscribe below if you like the content of this video, as well as ring that bell to get you future updates as far as videos are concerned. Everyone, I'm glad that you're watching. Tough one today. Tough one. As you can see, Snippets board, item number 1. Whenever you lose a game, even if you're 3-9 and the team you're playing is 4-8, and you lose that game, it's still a tough loss. Any loss, especially by a point, is going to be a tough loss. There's no doubt about it. Besides the fact that we lost to our rival team in the New York Jets. So there's really no way around this one, guys. Really no way around this one. I put in here anyone left, item 2, anyone left. I mean, let's look at the running game. Kenyon Drake traded. Mark Walton no longer on the roster. Kalen Ballage injured reserve, leaving us with Patrick Laird, who played pretty well. We're going to get into his numbers here in production in just a moment. Devontae goes out in the first half. What appeared to be some sort of a head injury. We all wish the best for Devontae. Maybe a concussion. I didn't really get the full details of that particular injury, but he left pretty early in the game. So, I mean, we're left with like literally second and third stringers at skilled positions. So let's talk a little bit about that as well. And of course, our secondary, which is like hardly has any experience. But how are you going to get experience? Play games. Just keep playing, keep getting that experience. We did have a couple of players, though, that did, in fact, step up defensively. I'd like to point out Stephen Parker had the interception. Eric Rowe had 8 tackles, an assist, and a forced fumble. Not bad. And Ryan Lewis had 6 tackles and an assist. All 3 of those players, Stephen Parker being a safety, Eric Rowe, Ryan Lewis corners. Not really bad performance. I mean, they were out there, they were being active. They were making a few things happen. It was more of like a bend but not break kind of effort for the Dolphins. So, guys, that's where we're at, really. I mean, I wish we would have won the game, but we didn't. Getting into a little bit of the statistics, Ryan Fitzpatrick here goes 21 out of 37. He does throw for 245 yards, 0 touchdowns, though. Only has the 1 interception. He did run for 65 yards on 8 carries. Announcer's very impressed with his running ability. However, this Dolphin fan here, this guy here, thinks 8 carries is a little bit too much. Let's slow that down. He did fumble the ball twice. Let's take a look at that as well. He is 37, so let's tone down those 8 carries a little bit if we can. But again, Fitzpatrick, scrappy performance as always. Plays with a lot of grit and determination as always, and I'd love to see him back for next year. Why not? Let's kind of build around him, worry about the quarterback in a couple of years. Why don't we do that? I know quarterback. Let's keep Fitzpatrick for 1 more year. How about that? Patrick Laird, referred to as the Danny Woodhead on the telecast today. I love it. I mean, he was production. I love the Danny Woodhead kind of comparison. You know, let's have a little fun with that. He's producing, though. I mean, we may have something here in Patrick Laird. 14 carries, 44 yards, which really wasn't that bad. That's like the best rushing performance we've seen in, 5 weeks? I'm kind of guessing here, but it's been a number of weeks. We haven't seen that type of effectiveness on the ground. He's over 3 yards carry, which isn't great at all, but it's better than what we were getting. A guy by the name of Isaiah Ford. Okay, so we talked about anyone left, item number 2. Here come the bench guys, the reserves. Isaiah Ford, a 7th-round draft pick in 2017, breaks out with 6 catches and 92 yards. So we might see a lot more of him in the weeks to come. There's only 3 weeks left, but we might see a lot more of him. Alan Hurns had a pretty nice game, 5 catches for 68 yards. Patrick Laird did contribute in the receiving department with 4 catches, 38 yards. Devontae had the 2 catches for 28 yards prior to the injury. My disappointment here for this game against the Jets was the fact that Mike Gesicki was only targeted twice. That's a thumbs down. He only had 1 catch for 6 yards. Come on, we can't target him more than twice. I mean, I know he was probably getting a lot more attention, especially with Devontae going out, but we can't target him more than twice. I'm lost for words. I'm eyeing over and over again here. I'm lost for words. What? I don't get that. Jason Sanders. Jason Sanders was awesome. He kicked 7 field goals. What's not to like about that from your kicker? He did go 7 out of 8. Had a long field goal of 53 yards. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So we will give you a nice thumbs up, Mr. Jason Sanders out there. For the Jets, I mean, they got the win. They definitely got the win. Sam Darnold, 20 out of 36, 270 yards. Similar numbers to Fitzpatrick. He did throw, though, for the 2 TDs, where Fitzpatrick didn't throw for any touchdowns. Like Ryan Fitzpatrick, though, Sam Darnold did have an interception. Fitzpatrick was sacked twice. Darnold sacked once, so we're very even in that department. Powell for the Jets had a decent game running the football, 19 carries, 74 yards, maybe a little bit better than decent, not bad at all. Ty Montgomery, forgot that they have him on their team, a nice versatile player for the Jets, had 31 yards rushing on 9 carries. Perhaps the star of this game from an offensive perspective was Robby Anderson. He had a nice game. He had 7 catches, 116 yards. He did have a touchdown as well. Jamison Crowder and Ty Montgomery each had 30 yards receiving. And each of them actually both had 3 catches. So 3 catches for 30 yards. Demaryius Thomas did catch a touchdown pass as well. And Demaryius would have 28 yards on 2 catches. So, folks, it's a rebuilding type year for the Dolphins. Really would have liked to see us get this win. Item 3, Coach Flores. We saw him on the sideline just so heated. I don't blame him. We have that pass interference call. It was 4th down. Here we go. We all saw what happened. 2nd down, Dolphins pull off an awesome sack of Sam Darnold to make it 3rd, and we're looking at about 12 yards, somewhere in that zone. I might be off a yard or 2. Forgive me on that one. Leading us to the pass, medium type pass, tight coverage, and nothing's called. They do the instant replay. Call could have really gone either way. If we look at it over and over and over again, yeah, I guess we're going to call pass interference. That's exactly what happened. Instead of it being 4th and long, out of field goal range, Jets now have it 1st and 10. Only need maybe 5 yards to get in field goal range, 10 yards to make it more realistic of a field goal attempt, which is exactly what they did. To the Jets' credit, I guess we got to give them credit for that. I mean, all this is happening with 35, 40 seconds left, something like that. They kicked the game-winning 44-yard field goal. Tough way to lose. Coach Flores, you get a lot of credit working with a limited roster. Forget about the fact that we lost Devontae Parker early in this game, our number 1 weapon in recent weeks, ever since the Preston Williams injury. That's what happens, folks. The Dolphins defense, item 4. I had to mark that down because of the secondary, like I mentioned, Eric Rowe, Ryan Lewis, and Stephen Parker. I mean, these guys, from a statistical standpoint, they were certainly active. They didn't really play bad at all defensively. It was more of a bend but don't break type of performance. Although I must say, when the Jets got the ball on that final drive, I didn't like the way the defender played the ball. He should have been playing more of the man. So he jumps in for the deflection, doesn't get the deflected pass, receiver catches it, boom, he's right down the sidelines. So that's rough, guys. That was a long play, but hey, you know what? The Jets converted it, and we didn't play it right. So And that play in itself, hey, we can look at that play too, okay? And, it's easy to just look at the penalty and, oh, that's a tough way to lose, and it is. But these things happen, these things happen, everyone. So, not an easy game, Dolphins. But looking ahead, we got the Giants next week on the road. Then we come home, play one more home game, against the Bengals, and then wrap up the season in New England against the Patriots in a game that the Patriots, as stated before, may or may not need, meaning that we may or may not have a chance to win that game. So we'll see how that particular game plays out. Everyone, that's it. I mean, it snaps a 4-game winning streak against the Jets. But you know what? We got to look at it for what it is. It was a tough call at the end. We can talk about that till next Sunday if we want. There were other things that the Dolphins did not do well as far as mainly in the first half. I thought our first half performance was lackluster. We did come alive again, though, in the second half, which is kind of interesting. Jets improved to 5-8. I was going to say Dolphins first, but Jets do improve the record to 5-8. Dolphins will now fall to 3-10. As stated earlier, we are trying to, I would say, a couple weeks ago, I'm looking for that third win and just saying call it a season, as you may have heard me a few weeks ago. Let's just get one of these last three. Did not expect us to beat Philadelphia last week, but we did. So there you go. So this is Dennis Sullivan signing off. Looking ahead, let's get another win coming up here in these last 3 weeks, and I'll be happy. Dolphins lose a tough one. Coach Flores, you're doing a strong job here. I'm on board. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm looking forward to next season. I'm glad that you're our coach. I'm glad that you have the staff that you do. I think this team, there's no way, if you look at the first few weeks of the season, that anyone, including this fan here, thought that we would win really any games, I must admit. And here we are. We're sitting on 3 wins, which is nothing. It's not that good. But we could have picked up our 4th win this afternoon. So to summarize, the Jets get the win 22-21 at home. Home game for the Jets against the Dolphins. It's Dennis Sullivan signing off. I will see you, yes you, next time. And until then, over and out. We'll discuss more Dolphins next week. Bye-bye.